So what did you just get in your hand?
We got Marmite.
Just a little corner of a piece of bread and then you have a taste. If you like it, you can put a little bit on.
The last time she had one of these, she put like a huge blob of Vegemite.
It's alright. It's nice.
Okay.
I spread it evenly on a large piece of bread.
So this morning, Shish and I were supposed to start driving towards Lake District and then head down further south towards the border of Wales. But then our friends Andrew and Jane offered to take us to a very interesting place, not too far from here, about 2 hours drive. So we're both riding with Andrew there. He's taking us to the HADRIAN'S wall. It's really nice because the weather is great today and they've been super welcoming. We have I don't even know what to say. We didn't have this plan this morning and now we're already on our way.
Surprise, surprise!
Hi, Andrew.
I was just putting this at where we're going into the sat nav.
Yeah.
Although I should know it.
Yes. We've just come up into the fortress. It's called the Housestead. Hadrian's Wall actually extends all the way from the west coast to the east coast of Great Britain, the island of Britain. So the wall is somewhere around 70 miles in length. At least that's what it was built as. But only a small portion of it still exists today. And Andrew brought us out here because this is one of the best preserved ones in the whole country. So where I'm standing right now, this is actually called the Housestead because it was like a little fortress. One of the buildings is here where Andrew is showing Shish about the heated floors. We just learned about it inside the museum. But then this entire wall was built to protect those living on the southern side of the wall from the ones on the north. And it's interesting because we just learned that Britain was itself colonized for 300 years by the Romans. So the Romans ruled here between, I think, just after Christ was born until 300 AD or so. And this wall, the entire system of the wall was built sometime before 230 AD. And the construction started during Hadrian's time, who was the ruler at that time. But it continued for a little while longer. And 6 years later, it was entirely built. So this wall remained intact until 300 AD before it was brought down. What's interesting is who the wall separated the Romans from. On the other side, they were called the barbarians. That was actually the Scottish Empire on that side. So many of them attempted to come over to sort of take control of this area. The Romans built this as a check, as a tower, as a little village of soldiers that they could manage protecting the empire from. So the wall actually continues far through the fields and forests over the hills, kind of like a smaller version of the Great Wall of China, like in design especially. So this is what it is. It was interesting for us to know that Britain itself was colonized by another foreign power. It also happened sometime around, I believe, the 10th or 11th century, when a certain kingdom from France, the Normans, also came here to sort of control. So one of the common effects of it was taxation. So anyone who lived on the other side of the wall didn't really have to pay taxes the way people on this side in the Roman Empire had to pay. Pick up some grains. Bring us a sack.
Oh, there's crisp here.
Really? Snacks. This is the wall, and that's how steep it actually goes down. And that's the plains into enemy land.
So now we are at Stone Circle. This is in Keswick, which is very similar to Stonehenge. It's just a smaller version of it.
So they used to use this in some sort of paganistic rituals in the past. So it's got this very peculiar design. It's a circle entirely made out of stone, positioned everywhere.
Yeah.
And
This is located in Lake District and it's on top of a small hill, but it's surrounded with mountains on all the side.
it's hard to believe it's just around 2 p.m., but looks like the sun will set any moment.
Yeah. And it's 2 degrees right now. That's it. Round thingy!
Lake District edition.
With Andrew!
Just made it to our first lake in Lake District. This is so beautiful. We just crossed the pass there and then we came down this way and there's this whole lake. It's almost exactly like what we saw in Scotland, but the mountains and the hills are much smaller, but so much more greener right now because they haven't gone through the entire phase of autumn like in Scotland.
And this lake is so long. The views on the mountain pass while passing through it was so beautiful. Like, we couldn't take our eyes off the road.
It's sunset time. So sunset here is right now it's at
4 o'clock in the evening.
It's still incredible. Look at that, the colors.
Wow. This has to be one of my favorite spots in England.
You could literally just dive into the water from here. That was so fun.
Still can't believe it. Yeah. Bye-bye.
These people were so nice. They've been with us for a whole year on the channel, and every single day they watch our videos. Now they brought us home. We spent the last 2 days with them, and on top of it they gave us a little gift before leaving. Subscribe.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just go. Yeah.
Okay. One,
1, 2, 3, start.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
That was a 10-second.